what's going on in general. It's quite scary. It's a hidden epidemic that's happening in Malaysia that we don't see it coming, but it's coming very fast. Where do we spend most of our lifetime? The answer is actually at work. So what better place to bring fitness and wellness to the workplace itself? Companies every year they have budget to reward their employees, but sometimes they don't have a strategic structure to reward the employees.
So what is your view on the overall wellness, right, of Malaysians today?
Overall wellness, I would say if you give me a scale of 0 to 10, I'll put we are.
Hello, listeners. Today we are growing well together. We are at Engage Life. We have Paresh Subramaniyam here with us. And just a quick introduction before I bring on Paresh, right? So, Engage Life inspires to empower individuals and corporates and organizations to prioritize their well being. They believe that a healthy community, so that's why together, right, is built on a foundation of thriving individuals and workplaces. Paresh, welcome to the show.
Right, thank you for having me on board.
Yes, so when I first came here, I was really inspired by the number of things that you were doing. You had this, later we'll talk about the challenge as well,
Right.
the weight loss challenge, and many things. So I know that you come from a background of fitness, and that's what you say on other interviews as well. So tell us a backstory of how Engage Life came about.
Right, what so? It started in 2016. That time we were not engaged live yet. We were known as Fit Escapes. So it was more focused towards fitness and how to bring fitness towards the corporate places or offices. So how I actually came up with this idea is I was working in Celebrity Fitness in NU Central. So I was the general manager there. And if you don't know, one of the KPIs for general managers is we need to look after retention, which means if you want to cancel your membership or if you have any issues, I will be there for you. I'll be, discuss with you or give you solutions based on that. And I realized that although how much of influence we have or how we discuss or try to convince people, people still cancel their membership. And one of the main reason is because people don't have time. So I think to myself, where do we spend most of our lifetime? The answer is actually at work. So what better place to bring fitness and wellness to the workplace itself? So that's how we got started back in 2016 November. And in 2017, we were going around finding for clients and stuff like that. And then I met one of our gym members that time. He said, hey, Paresh, I never see you in the gym. What happened to you? It's like, hey, I've already resigned and now I'm doing my own stuff. So he said, hey, what are you doing? So I said, I'm doing corporate wellness. He said, that's something new, right, in Malaysia? I said, yes, it's particularly very new, but we started by just introducing the fitness classes. So our idea back then is how can we bridge the gap? Because at that time, 2016, there's a lot of team building. People do a lot of team building and stuff like that. So we're thinking like, hey, there is team building. We don't want to go in competing with the team building boys that are already there. But how can we, fulfill the gap in the market, which is bringing something for the companies to, also think about it rather than just team building. You have something else to think about, maybe a fitness class or any other initiative, like such as workshops and stuff like that. So that's how we got started. And he told me that, hey, let's do some fitness class. And that time our first clients were Shell, so we got Shell came on board, Menara Shell Club at that time, and we started fitness classes. So that's how we got started in 2016, and now we have grown into a wellness technology company known as Engage Life.
So what was the transition from Fit Escapes to right now Engage Life?
What was the transition? I think there's a couple things influence this transition. One is the drive for digital transformation and automation in our company itself, especially when you look at SMEs. One of the key components can drive us to scale our business is actually technology. So that's number one factor. I think number two will be the brand positioning and awareness. So when you hear about fit, what do you think about?
I think it's like fitness kau lah.
Correct,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Do you think a bit hardcore and
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? But the whole idea about fit escapes is escape into fitness, or fit your mind, fit your body. But the perception of it, the perception in the common public is, oh, you are a fitness company. Where's the gym? Are you doing some, stretching business, or physiotherapy business? Where is it? Physical store. So we had to change that narrative and bring in something fresh to the market, a brand that people can relate to, engaging with your life. Engage life is simply means engaging with your life in all aspects of it. So something that able to give us a better positioning in the market. So I think that is the second approach. And the third one is, as we grow along the way, our services, the way we approach programs and corporates are transforming across time. So we thought that it would be a good, fresh idea to do this branding exercise. So we brought in a brand expert as well to kind of look at all aspects of our brand, from the colors, like you're wearing orange today, right? From the colors to how people feel about the brand. Wellness and health business, you really need to feel emotionally attached to something. If not, you will not sustain in doing it, right? So think about it this way: if you talk about a gym, right? Well, which gym are you going to right now?
My
Oh,
condo gym.
your condo gym. But
I
when we talk about a brand, right? You need to feel association with the brand,
mm,
or something that you could relate to. Maybe because of time, you could relate to your condo gym much better because you
mm,
don't have time. No,
mm,
condo gym does the job for me, right?
yeah.
Right. So yeah, I think these are three factors that drive us to really change from fit escapes to engage life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that focus on technology as well,
Yep.
right? You said people, like, if you want to change people's life, you're right. We spend most of our year, except for 30 days, we spend most of our year in the office. The
Yes.
second most important place that we spend our time is our phones
Phone,
and
right?
our,
Yeah.
our devices.
Yeah.
So you also have that focus on technology. Is that something intentional?
Yes, yes. I think that's very intentional. When you look at the Asia landscape of businesses, we are very much we favor on-demand businesses, right? It's like, can I get it in my hands? I want to do it now. So on-demand business has been quite a big traction in Asia as well. That's why we felt that a push to digitalize, or push for digitalization in our company is so important.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. Since your days as the general manager of a gym, you said you in New Central, you work with a
Yep.
lot of corporates,
Yep.
and you said there was like a lot of people doing team building and things like
Mm.
that. So like, what do you feel is the state of like wellness in corporate since we're starting there?
State of wellness in corporate, I think we got to start with the looking at what is in general in Malaysia, what's going on in general. It's quite scary. It's a hidden epidemic that's happening in Malaysia, that we don't see it coming, but it's coming very fast. And when you look at some of the stats that are out there in Asia alone, 1 in 7 people have mental health issues, and only 1 in 5 people actually seek help in Asia. In Malaysia, you're looking at the productivity losses through absenteeism, presenteeism. Actually, is costing the economy close to 12 billion, according to WHO report published in 2020. And you're looking at half of our population in Malaysia actually have one chronic diseases or one NCD. And the top primary NCDs will be cardiovascular disease, Malaysia's biggest killer. Second will be diabetes and also cancer as well. So when you look at the landscape overall in Malaysia itself, it's not doing very well. It's in a position where it's no more just we need to look into it. We need to find a way how to contain this now. And as you look at Asia wise, we are actually close to a aging tsunami. By 2050, close to 65% of the population in the world will be 65 years old. So we are actually facing a aging population at the same time as well. So in terms of corporate wise, I feel that one of the things that we are looking at that really impacts the corporate is in terms of productivity, right? Whether the people are going to work, how much MCs are they taking, or when they are at work, presentism, are they able to perform at their best or not? Are they able to think clearly and make wise decision? based on their current health and health status. So I think when you look at corporate wise, generally the general population of Malaysia itself is not doing very well. That actually spirals to also corporate as well. That's why you see a lot of companies now finding ways, initiative to kind of combat corporate issues or health and wellness issues in the corporate as well. Yeah.
Mm. So when it comes to corporate, what do you see are the main challenges? Like,
Mm.
of course, you have all the people working in there, and being in Asia, we are a very work-centric community.
Mm.
Work is like the center of a lot of
Yep.
things we do.
Yep.
Like, what do you see are the challenges? The people are there, but they engage?
I think when you look at the landscape wise, first of all, if we need to understand some of the clear challenges that the corporate have. So I think the first clear challenge when we talk about corporate is the awareness itself. When we talk about awareness, the understanding of awareness is different from we have different understanding of what awareness is. I think the gap in terms of that understanding is where the issue happens, because some corporate thinks that, oh, just bringing a doctor to talk about heart issues will actually solve the problem. So is the awareness is they are not doing it just one off, but how to make it part of the strategy in the companies as well. So corporate wellness should not be looked into just as one component of it, but how can we add this in the strategy of the company. So I think that challenge for them, how to incorporate corporate wellness or health as a strategy, that's one of the challenge. The second one is actions. I think choosing a corporate wellness or finding a service in Malaysia itself, we need to understand what we really want, because there is EAP services, which either a hotline or whether a chat-based function, right? Or you're looking for more engagement-based or recognition-based. There's different providers for that. If you're going for L&D, there's different providers. There's different providers for team building. There's no single solution that covers a broad issue or problem that we are having. So I think finding that solution and tailor making that solution, and who's responsible for that action, or when you roll out the plan, who's going to be responsible for that, I think that's also lacking. And last but not least, I will bring up this is accountability. Who's going to be accountable for a program when you roll out? We often see companies, they roll out the program and then they say, hey, the program doesn't work, or hey, no one is joining the program, like what you mentioned, no one is engaging in the program. So the accountability part is also missing, whether it's from policies of getting the right data, and focusing on what people really needs and people really want, or creating that culture where they have people supporting each other, or ambassadors, or different department challenges and stuff like that. So the accountability part is one of the key challenges that we see as well. And to add on top of all that three, I call that the triple A lah. So it's awareness, action, and accountability. To add on top of that is tracking lah. Most importantly, we see in Malaysia especially, or in Asia especially, the tracking of health and wellness program is not there. So we don't know the actual outcome of it, or what is the ROI of it, or what is the VOI of it. We often use maybe Google Forms, or different tracking mechanism from different people. So where is the consolidation and management of these parts? So I think that's one of the challenges that we see companies face as well.
Mm.
Mm.
So, like, I think I like the one word that you mentioned is very important is ROI.
Yeah.
We love that
Yeah.
word. So when it comes to ROI, right,
Mm.
like you mentioned, I think the main thing is the number of medical leaves, right? And I think if you are having an employee, it's not just taking care of them financially, right? They are a human being. Like fitness and wellness in general are part of them. So what are some of the benefits that you see for these corporations?
We benefit to the employees.
Yes, like the ROI to the company.
Okay, so I think ROI is very subjective. It all depends on what the company want to achieve. So I think having a clear goal when starting a program is very important, because when some of us we start a program, it's just like, hey, we look at our medical insurance premium, or we look at the problem that happened, then we straight away roll out a program. So proper planning and proper setting up of a ROI or a measuring tool is very important. So just to give you an example, there's a couple of different ROIs can you look for. One is health-based ROI, which means are you lowering the risk of BMI? Are you lowering the risk of high blood pressure, diabetes? With all return back, the outcome is basically the insurance premiums and the cost saving and stuff like that, right? But the action that you need to do, or the focus need to be on this solving these couple of different important diseases in order for you to get that kind of ROI, right? That's health based. The second would be engagement. When you talk about engagement, there is so many different ways to measure engagement, whether in work, whether in a social environment. So one of the things that you can also look at is engagement in your health and wellness program. Particularly, you cannot say hey engagement in general, but health and wellness program, or health and wellness can be incorporated into all the other pillars, physical, social, financial, and then you come into an idea in terms of what are the things you want to track, right, for these pillars. And engagement can be measured through engagement survey. It could be looking at the attendance and participation rate of people. So that is engagement rate. I think the last but not least is the overall sentiment of people. I think that's one thing that a lot of us missed out. So we track about health, we track about engagement. I think the last ROI we need to really look into is the sentiment of people. Are people feeling happy to work for you? People feel appreciated. People feel that their voice is heard. Are you recognized? Give them enough recognition in the work that they do. So I think when you talk about ROI, it's very subjective. You can measure ROI with different metrics, but the whole idea is to find the right ROI that you need to measure according to your company culture, your industry, your business, and also your people as well.
Mm. Yes, that's very important. And I think one thing you mentioned that is very key is, of course, reducing that chronic diseases.
Yeah.
And when I first talked to you a few months ago, you mentioned you were working with a few medical institutions as well. And I think one thing that we will talk about later as well is that one of the chronic diseases, which is diabetes.
Yeah.
And the latest news is like 1 in 6 Malaysians
Yeah.
have diabetes. So what is your view on the overall wellness, right, of Malaysians today?
Overall wellness, I would say if you give me a scale of 0 to 10, I'll put we are at 8 lah, somewhere around 8.
8?
Yeah,
Wow.
somewhere around
Okay,
8.
okay.
Because you are not only looking at adults, right? You are looking at also children's, and this population is a different generation these days, right? Our children's and stuff like that. So you are looking at two different population at the same time, adults and also children's at the same time. So I think in Malaysia, if you are looking at the overall landscape, like I mentioned, I'll give a score of 8. It's something that we all need to be concerned about. You see news these days. I think this year we cover a lot of insurance premium hike, the increase of insurance premiums, right? All the insurance premium pool is in. They say, hey, is
The repricing.
yeah, repricing it and all that kind of stuff. So this year we heard about that, right? And then you hear a lot of news on NCD diseases. Like this year, I think NST wrote something about it. The Age posted something about it as well. So I think people are starting to put the news out there. People are starting to get more aware about it. And I think overall the government is trying different initiatives, but I think the initiative need to be more sustainable. Let me just quiz you. Have you heard about the suku sparrow before?
No.
So suku sparrow has been there for quite some time to kind of help us to eat better. Malaysia is the
I know.
best
Now I
food
know.
ever, right?
I know. Okay, so this correct me wrong. I know already.
Yes.
Is the suku is like suku vegetable, suku meat, and then
correct.
separuh carbs, I think.
No, the carbs and meat suku,
Suku.
and then the rest are
I got
fruits.
it.
Yeah, and
I got it in reverse.
Yeah. So suku sparrow has been there for 10 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been there for 10 years, and not many of us know about it. So I think if you're looking at the Malaysian whole climate-wise in terms of health and wellness, there's an initiative that government roll out. I think Putrajaya also rolled out an initiative last year called Kurang Manis campaign. But lack of people aware about these campaigns and lack of participation. So I think overall, as a population, we should be more involved lah in all these initiative that in turn then contribute back to the nation at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think okay lah. So side mission a bit like even like the you said the government, like I attend a lot of
Yeah.
government events,
Yeah.
and the first thing you attend a lot of government events is there's a lot of separuh lah. A
That's
lot
why
of
you
food,
had it different
a
way.
lot of food, a lot of food, and
Yes,
many
yes.
breaks for food, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that is very important. So like you're working with a few medical
Mm,
institutions as well,
mm,
and I like what I like is it's not just wellness as like I just hoo-ha just wellness, but
mm,
you go in, you have tracking,
mm.
you are like working with these medical institutions to improve and also to give better advice as well, so that's very commendable.
Thank
So I
you.
think the next part we'd like to talk about is Engage Life
Okay.
itself. All right, so how does Engage Life help corporations?
Mm. So, just to give you an introduction, Engage Life is basically a corporate wellness solution. We stand for a strong social impact, empowering companies to be able to lead a health and wellness initiative that benefit both their own employees and also the community as whole. So for Engage Life wise, I think we take a four-step approach. When we go into companies, we make sure that number one, we understand about them. We understand their overall climate, what are the business, nature of business, whether they work in shifts. So we tailor-made that program according to the assessments that we collect or data that collect. And importantly, to also highlight here is companies have a lot of data. They do medical screening and stuff like that, but they don't compile it and they don't see year on year, month on month on this because it's not primarily their business, right? So one of the things that we help the companies to do is also look into all these data as well. Existing data that you have or whatever that you feel you could pass to us, we will actually analyze it for you and look at the gaps for you and maybe things that you need to prioritize first, right? Because if you ask 10 people, 10 people have different opinion on what you should do first, but data doesn't lie to you. Data tells you what exactly you need to do. So that's what we do. Our second approach is to customize the program. So we will
So
come.
I'll stop you there for a
Okay,
bit.
sure.
So collecting data, that's new to me. That's very
Okay.
important. I was in corporate as well. We
Mm.
do a lot of medical checks
Yep.
as per requirement by the company. So do you
Mm.
go to a management of a company and say,
Mm.
hey, your 30% of your staff are risks, have
Mm.
risk to this? Or what do you do with the data? Do you go to management, present it to them to propose the programs, or
Mm.
what happens?
I think more of they already know these data
Oh,
is
really?
what do you do and use these data for. I
Yeah.
think the action plan is where we really come into play lah.
Yeah.
How do you start?
Mm.
Okay, let's say example you receive a data. Okay, I have cardiovascular diseases in my company very
Oh,
high.
really?
Okay,
Oh, okay.
top my insurance premium top one lah. People are claiming for heart issues. They're going for bypass. They're going in and out for medications and stuff like that, right? But what to do next, right? Are you going to continue giving them medication, supporting on that? Or are you going to start and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to look at my recruitment. When I recruit people, I'm going to make sure I tighten down my policy in terms of recruitment. Number two, can I have more awareness or not? Can I have more screening? After the screening, what do I do with these data? Let's say people, the report comes and say, hey, 30% of your population have heart diseases, right? But are you looking at the other 20% which is at risk to get heart diseases? So often we look at the 30% that's already in risk or already having issues, but we don't look at what's coming, which is another 20-30% which is coming along to that stage, right? So can you then can you do a specific program just for this? Can you then tell them, hey, you know what? I want to make sure that you are healthy. Can you put up a reward strategy for them? So these are a couple of things that you can actually do very easily in your company, but you need to know specifically what is the issue and what are the action plan and how do you track this issue. So that's where we come in to use that data and help you to track and measure.
Yeah, it is, I would say, database, right?
Yep.
Because a lot of times, a lot of companies will do, oh yeah, let's do a Zumba,
Yep.
group, let's do a group yoga activity, but there's no data to track why you are doing this. So the programs are tailored. So you're talking about the programs as well.
Yeah, so I think the second part where we come in is we tailor made the program. So we look at how the frequency of it, the intensity of the program. how are we going to slowly help you internally build your culture. Maybe you need to have maybe ambassador group. We do maybe a workshop to create ambassadors in your company first, so that these ambassadors then can go back into the working environment and influence others at the same time. So we look at a lot of factors when tailor making this program, and then usually we customize according to 6 or 12 months, or we have some of them that in 36 months contracts with us and stuff like that. And then what we see next is to integrate what they already have. So the unique part about our company is we are able to integrate what you already have into our system. So often you look at apps out there, programs out there, is my program, and you use my app and my program. There's no tailor made, or maybe there's some tailor made, but you cannot insert your own items inside. Let's say, example, you're working with already another hospital. You are working with 3 or different or 4 regular vendors already that you are working with, and you feel that they have give you certain outcomes, but you just lack of that management tool or measuring tool. So that's where we come in. We say, hey, it's okay, you currently working, it's very good, you have your own internal team, you are
Yeah.
already managing
Like
it.
you are doing like quarterly Zumba, right? So
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
measure
exactly,
how
correct.
effective is the quarterly Zumba.
Correct. So then we come in and then we say, hey, you know what? We integrate your items that you already have into our system. And we look at a couple of different items. I think let's take Zumba as an example. They say, hey, the just usually the company will come and say, hey, Paresh, yes, we are doing Zumba, but just the regular faces only, the same people only will come to Zumba.
Mm.
So from there, using our system, we can find out, okay, whether it's a time issue or not, whether it's a day issue or not, whether it's an instructor issue. Maybe
Mm.
people don't like the instructor, right? And maybe they don't like the class. They don't like Zumba at all. So all these datas are where we come in and say, hey, when you integrate this approach, we are able to find this, which come to our last but not least, tracking and also monitoring to see where the outcome and also what is the outcome for the company. So we go on month to month. So we are able to tell the company, okay, this month, maybe your closing month or your sentiment of your people, your mental health or anxiety is a bit high, know what to do for next month. So it's more of using data to kind of make more accurate decision or make more accurate selection of what are the services and what are the things you need next. Yeah.
So it's like a centralized system for all the wellness activities you're doing.
Correct. So what we try to build here is by just using these 4 elements, we are able to kind of help the company come up with more holistic, more comprehensive, and most importantly, don't use too much of their time. So we want the management tool to help them save time, not for them to go and daily track, ask people for feedback, collect from different sheets and analyze data. So they can look at more of experience, what is the people feeling, and we can, do the data work for them or management part for them.
So what happens next? You collect the data, you curate the programs, and then third part?
So the third part is like what I mentioned, we integrate whatever that you have into our program. So it makes it more holistic, which means we don't work in silo. We're working with what you currently have and what we have as well. And last but not least is the fourth part is the tracking and managing of this data and allowing them to look at the ROI across time or the data across time. Yeah.
So you can know, okay, I've been doing these wellness programs,
Yeah.
I'm doing Zumba, whatever. This is the effects after this, and okay, my let's say my staff, the health go up or some things go down, for example, right?
Yes, correct. And also the effectiveness of that Zumba, you can always make something effective if you want to. Example, for a Zumba, I can just say, hey, what the people that join 1 year Zumba burn most calories in the Zumba classes, I give you something. You see, it makes a huge difference for people, and people change their motivation already, right? So what we come in and do is we not only just give you the program, but we come with so much of consultation and advice to able to see what suits best for the company. Yeah.
Okay, I think the next part that I want to talk about is engagement, right? So your engaged life, and one thing that is part of what you do is the app that you have, which is we can see here on the banner here, the engaged life app. So how does this fit in? How does the app fit in?
Yeah, I think first of all, when you talk about an app, there's a lot of apps out there already.
Mm.
There's tons of health and wellness app. So where we come in is the app is actually a management system. So we use the app as A and B lah. So the A part is as a management system. So you can just purchase the app without any of Engage Live program and just use the app as a tracking mechanism, which means you put in all your activities,
Mm.
all your engagement activities inside, your announcement, your broadcasting, your email, everything will be done from the app itself. So it does the automation for you at the same time. And then the second thing is there's already fixed assessments that are in there. There's already a structured e-learning in there. You just need to fit in your content.
Mm.
And last but not least, the reward system as well. Let's say example, companies every year they have budget to reward their employees,
Mm.
but sometimes they don't have a strategic structure to reward the employees. So they can put the budget inside the rewards, and then as people are collecting points,
Mm.
they're doing the initiative, they're collecting the points. They can then use the points and redeem the items that they want.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's basically the first part as a management system. The second part that we do is, like I mentioned, we go in as part of the 12 months program or short term program, is more ROI or VOI driven, which means we look at one or two things that we can help you with, or one or two things that you have a pain point with, and then we help you to solve it, whether it's engagement, retention, health issues, and
Mm.
stuff like that. So the app can do two main items. One
Mm.
as a management system, and then one more is as a program and also a management system. As for the management system, we are also white labeling the management system.
Mm.
So we white label to
Operations, right?
operation sites, to hospitals as well, for
Mm.
them to use it for maybe a outcome driven diabetes program
Mm.
where they require some sort of software to track. So we also do customize that white labeling part for the management software.
Mm.
Yeah.
So Paresh, tell us more about the features of the app.
All right. So when you look at the app, I think when you first come in, you can see it's a points and reward system. You have your
Mhm.
points over here, and then rewards over here. So for every healthy initiative or healthy habits that you create, or if you join any sorts of the wellness event, you'll be able to collect points here. The next one will be the level up. So when you talk about the level up, we have specially built the 7-day and 30-day program. So the 30-day program is where the GWT is at currently. So it's a very structured program. It consists of coaching, consists of challenges, and also we give exclusive rewards from our partners. So we partner with SGMC, Beacon Mart. So you are able to redeem or use
Mm.
all these discount vouchers and also items that we're going to give
Mm.
to you inside this program. So we also have the My Health. My Health, the idea is for us to allow people to do their own assessment and also track their health as well. This is
Mm.
where your body composition and everywhere, all these records will be recorded in. Next, we also have our events. So for our events, you can join our roadshow. So we have 12 roadshows. If you
Mm.
not aware of where to actually measure your body fat and stuff like that,
The
you
in-body
can,
machine will be
yeah,
there.
in body machine will be there, so you can drop by to our roadshows. We have the first one in September 7 at the park. So you can drop by our roadshows and measure there. So we have a nationwide roadshow. And also we also have the wellness hub where you can actually drop by and measure your
Mm.
body composition as well as we have the monthly activities. So each month we have different activities to cover different types of issues or different types of interests as well.
Mm.
And last but not least, we have the challenges where we will challenge you to do something. We have a play and win challenge that is upcoming. So you just have to follow the challenge.
Mm.
You, let's say example, do 5 squat. You do 5 squat, you upload, and then you win something. And
Mm.
I just want to highlight on top of all of this, you also have a 24-hour support from coaches. So
Mm.
you have a nutritionist, psychologist, and also a fitness trainer that you can
Mm.
chat to them, ask them questions, or clear any sorts of doubt that you have during this program.
Mm. So I think one part that we are very interested in is, of course, as humans, we like rewards,
Yep,
right?
yep.
So what are the more prominent rewards you have inside?
I think for the rewards part, we the whole idea of having reward is
Mm,
to provide not only the intrinsic motivation for people, but
mm,
extrinsic motivation at the same time, as well as everyone love the carrot at the end lah,
mm, mm,
right? And often people ask us, hey, what is in for you? What is in for me?
mm,
So what is in for you? So what we are through the GWT movement that we are doing this year, if you lose 1 kilo, you are already qualified into our lucky draw. So we have spa day, we have a 6 months membership for the gym membership.
mm,
We also have a 3 days 2 nights to premium resorts in Malaysia, in Cherating as well. And speaking about the rewards that are in our app, so we split it into a couple of different segments. The number one is a voucher and discounts.
mm,
So if you're going to eat in a healthy restaurants, you can use 5-10% discounts.
mm,
If you are buying groceries, healthy groceries, you get a discount as well. If you're
mm,
having buying shoe, you can use the Brook shoe,
mm.
20% off on Brook shoes and stuff like that. So that's basically discounts, and we also have the physical items. So you are able to redeem resistance band, skipping rope, massage ball, and so many other accessories to help you along your journey.
All the health stuff lah.
Yes, correct, correct,
Right.
correct. So the idea is not only the intrinsic motivation, but also to provide an ecosystem when people want to make changes in their life. Maybe
Mm.
if I want to run today, that shoe that I have, my shoe is tall. I can't walk out and use the torn shoe to go and jog, right? So maybe that obstacle by our using our reward system can help them to overcome this obstacle. Yeah.
I think that's very important because we all love, wellness. We all
Mm,
love fitness, but it's
mm.
not cheap.
Yes,
You used to
exactly.
run the gym. It's
Yeah,
not cheap to buy
exactly.
good groceries.
Mm.
It's not cheap to buy Brook shoes. It's not cheap.
Yes, yes.
So if you get
Yeah.
discounts for all these things, especially it's for health benefits, that's very good.
Yes, and also we like to invite all the local vendors as well. So we
Mm,
work with a lot of local providers to kind of also help support the small SME business like us as well. So if you are a local vendor or you want to publish your own brands, you want to publish your own products, no, reach out to us as well. We are
mm.
happy to collaborate and work together.
All right.
Yeah, but must be health related. Yeah.
So talking about that's the app part, right? So we
Mm,
also flash the app as well.
yep.
So what is growing well together? I think one thing that really caught my attention was that you say tracking, and you
Mm.
say every so and so you need to go to the InBody app, which I
Yes,
remember is part
yes,
of only certain gyms have it. Not all gyms have
yes.
it,
Correct.
and especially okay, medical checks are one, but it's also important to track the
Mm.
fitness as well, right?
Yeah, I think yes, medical screening has been there for quite some time. But if you ask 10 people in the room, probably 3 or 4 people have done their yearly screening. So maybe some people feel intimidated to go to hospital to do the full screening. Some people feel, hey, ignorance is bliss. Yeah, I don't know. It's much better for me. Right? But there are some ways for people to start off something. One of the good ways or one of the key ways to start is to look at your body composition, which is the in-body machine where it tells you your body fat, your muscle mass, and stuff like that. So coming back to growing well together movement. So growing well together movement is movement we started um, to leverage the influence of companies and SMEs in order to create a social impact. So we want companies to be a wellness champion, a wellness sponsor, that then they can lead the health and wellness initiative to benefit either the employees or the community that they serve around them. So the growing well together movement, what we did is we wanted to focus on the nation's most pressing issue year on year. So every year, the growing well together movement will focus on one most pressing issue, and this year we have identified one of the key pressing issues that I'll mention about it. But the idea of growing well together movement is to get people focused on an impact or a cause or a purpose. I think we all live in a world that these days we want a purpose, why we work, why we are alive, right? So when we talk about health and well-being, we hope that the growing well together movement will give a lot of the people out there a hope that, hey, this is the purpose, to lose at least 1 kilo, all right, to lose at least across the year, to contribute towards the nation's BMI, and all these purpose really help people to drive them in terms of motivation, in terms of engagement, and also to motivate others and inspire others at the same time. So that's the whole idea behind Growing Well Together movement.
So you say there is a milestone. So can you tell us more about
Yes,
that milestone?
sure. Yeah. So Growing Well Together movement this year, our key focus in 2024, August to next year, 2025, July 31st, we are focusing on combating obesity and also preventing diabetes. What we want to do is to achieve a most accumulated weight loss in the nation and create a Malaysian book of records for it. So everyone can contribute, whether you are a company or whether you are individual. We invite you to contribute towards the movement. All you need to do is to lose 1 kilo. It's very easy. Just lose 1 kilo and maintain. Make sure you maintain this 1 kilo across that 1 year, and you'll be part of the movement already. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely sign up. I
Cool.
have
Yeah.
some weight to shed.
So I always joke around and say in layman term, we say, give me your weight lah. You want to lose the weight, give it to us. We
Yeah.
want to collect it.
Now it gives me extra motivation to to shed the weight. Okay, do it
Yeah.
for this.
Yes.
And then yeah, I have this card here. So you have three things, right? Personal growth, wellness, lifestyle, and of course exclusive rewards as well.
Yes.
So how do they get this premium access for 1 year?
Yeah, so I think two ways you can reach out to us if you want the premium access for the pass. One, either get your company involved, whether you are a small size SME or large size companies, we have the solution for you. Just get in touch with us. Later, I think we also will let you know where you get in touch with us. Then we will customize the pass for you. But if you are an individual, you can straight away go to our app now, Engage Live app. Download as an individual, and you can sign up on the 12 months where you were entitled for the pass as well. So it's about 990 a month for 12 months. But if you're going for 1 month, it's 1290 a month. Yep.
So how do companies get on this? They just contact Engage Live?
Yeah, so companies can contact us, get in touch with us. We have a special package for the companies where we also incorporated a kickoff day as well, so that your people can really measure and then key in everything in the app and get started for a 30-day kickoff module. So we have built a customized module or feature in our app, a structured 30-day kickoff module where you learn, you have coaches, you have challenges, and you have assessments and tracker at the same time. So get in touch with us. We will introduce you guys to the package that have the kickoff and also the passes. So we sell the passes, 50 and 100 passes at the same time. Yeah, the passes at the same time. So we are also looking at a e-version of it to save the environment as well. Yeah, so get in touch with us, and I think we will chat more and see what suits best for you.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Farish.
Sure. Yeah.